According to a new report from Forbes out this week, Donald Trump's policies have cost U.S. businesses $29 billion. $29 billion that U.S. businesses would have brought in had it not been for Donald Trump's policies. But here's the kicker. I'm not talking about increased costs or financial losses that these companies have suffered because of his trade war. I'm not talking about the tanking U.S. economy that has caused consumers to pull back spending, thereby costing companies money. No, I am talking, and the report was talking, about $29 billion that has been lost by these companies due to the loss of foreign tourism into the United States. In fact, of all of the major countries surveyed, the United States is the only one on the list that is experiencing a shrinkage this year in foreign tourism. Everybody else is having an increase, but the U.S., thanks to Trump's policies, according to the report, is losing business. Here is what Forbes quoted Julia Simpson, president and CEO of the World Travel and Tourism Council, said. While other nations are rolling out the welcome mat, the U.S. government is putting up the closed sign. The U.S. was the only country out of 184 that was expecting a decline in tourist spending in 2025. In its latest client note, Tourism Economics blamed sentiment headwinds for its projections of significant declines in visitation from Canada and Western Europe in 2025. President Donald Trump's tariffs, travel bans, inflammatory rhetoric, and harsh immigration policies have combined for a chilling effect on visitors, and there's little indication of a reversal anytime soon. Aaron Ryan, director of industry studies at Tourism Economics, told Forbes, quote, "Given we're halfway through the year and we've seen these impacts, we don't know when the stiffest headwind is, but I think it does stay sustained. We're generally assuming that this persists for a while and that some of it is going to persist throughout the end of the administration." So, if you happen to work in an industry that is, of course, a tourism industry business, you're screwed. And you're screwed because of what Donald Trump is doing. And by the way, do you know who works a lot in the tourism industry? Tipped workers. So that whole phony no tax on tips thing, yeah, of course there's not going to be any tax on your tips if there's nobody showing up to tip you, which is very likely to happen. We have already seen, of course, reports of theme parks where I live in the state of Florida. They have reported drops in the number of people. Vegas has kind of had some up and downs. Right now, it seems to be back on a normal swing, but there were several weeks in a row, kind of to begin the summer, where it was empty. And of course, going back to April, I personally have been to Vegas several times this year, and I can promise you that's the fewest people I've ever seen in Las Vegas. Same thing with New York City. It was actually very easy to get around in New York City when I went a little earlier this year. There's not people because they don't want to come to the States because they hate Donald Trump. They hate his policies. They hate what he says. They hate the way he acts. They hate what he's doing to their countries. And so they're going elsewhere. There may not be another Las Vegas on the planet, but there's other places you can go that are almost comparable. There may not be another New York City, but there's other major cities and other major countries that aren't turning people away. Or, at very least, you could go to those other countries and not have to worry about being stuck in a migrant detention facility for a week because you didn't bother to book a hotel for your entire stay. And yes, that has happened to people from foreign countries trying to come into the United States. $29 billion so far gone. That's $29 billion to pay people's rents here. $29 billion to pay for a medical emergency. $29 billion to make your car payment or to buy your kid a birthday present. $29 billion gone because Donald Trump is an asshole. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And If you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.